From the studios of WWAY, it's the Seahawk Basketball Show. The Seahawk Basketball Show is brought to you by your Carolina Ford dealers, Papa John's, Adams Beverage, Harris Teeter, Coastal Beverage, and Reed's Jewelers. And now, here's your host, Mike Vaccaro.
Well, good Sunday morning. Great Sunday morning if you're a Seahawk basketball fan, coming off a huge win yesterday in the Low Country. The Seahawks upending Charleston. We'll talk about that later on today. Our player profile today is Jalen Sims, and a great game for him yesterday as well. And then we'll look ahead. Another tough stretch for UNCW on the road this week at Towson and Madison. We'll talk about those as well. Mike Vaccaro here with the head coach, Rob Burke. And before we get to this Charleston game, you finally had a chance to maybe catch your breath a little bit.
We did.
It's been a whirlwind 2 weeks for you for this program as well. You get the big win against Northeastern, and then you didn't play for a whole week. So what was it like for you personally and for this team getting ready and again, a chance to kind of collect your thoughts and catch your breath?
Right. Personally, it was just a chance to recharge my battery a little bit. I personally exerted a lot of energy from all of last week through the weekend. So I was able to catch my breath on Sunday after the show, and we were able to just kind of refocus on what our game plan was, what the vision was we shared with the team, and then how we were going to really execute these 5 days leading up to Charleston. So it was a great week. We used it as our camp, kind of just to reset and make sure everybody knew exactly what we wanted to do defensively, what we were trying to work towards, what we wanted to do offensively, and how we were going to play. And then we wanted to make sure we were competing against each other. And I've been talking about iron sharpens iron. We have 5 starters. They start the game, but all 11 guys right now, including JS teammate who's on the sideline, are really engaged with each other and pushing and driving each other. And that's how you become better basketball players, when guys are pushing and competing against each other. Yeah,
you're certainly seeing that. Everybody kind of knowing their role right now, and everybody doing something positive for this team.
Yes.
I asked you pregame yesterday, what did you learn about your team, last week going into this game with Charleston?
Right. I learned that they have a level of toughness. They will not quit. They've seen a lot of adversity. They've seen a lot of different situations. They're so young-minded. I don't think they really grasp the whole concept of it. But they get knocked down, they brush themselves off, and they get right back up. And you can push them. They want to be coached. They want to be driven. And they want to be really good basketball players. And so I was able to learn that about them. They also They want to be taught. They want to know the game of basketball, and so we're just trying to do a really good job of that. And then at the same time, we got a smile on our face. We're gonna have a little fun with it. We're not gonna put any pressure on them. Like we said, that trip for us was a win-win, no matter what the outcome was.
Yeah, certainly it's different energy and intense, but again, a lot of smiles in that game yesterday. You included as well. This is, I guess, with a young team, you got to show them that it is fun. It is a game.
No question. They're 18, 19, 20 years old, man. That time in my life was the best time in my life playing. I had a blast playing. I played with intensity, but also had a good time doing it. And so I just want them to have fun. I mean, we said at the beginning of that change, their well-being is our most important thing. The student-athlete themselves, that's a critical piece to this whole thing, and we want to make sure they're having a good time. There's no reason to get upset with them. They're going to make mistakes. There's no reason to really just beat down on them. They've already been beaten down enough. And so we just got to try to lift them up a little bit, show them how they can believe in themselves and believe in each other. And that's been the whole phase of it. That's been one big phase of it.
For you, you've been a head coach before,
yes.
Spartanburg Methodist Junior College, but it's been a little while.
Right.
What did you learn about yourself and maybe things that you had to change becoming a head coach in this situation as well, which wasn't an ideal way to become a head coach?
Right. I was a little rusty getting back in the saddle, but it took one good game to really get a feel. As this third game has gone on, I felt really, really comfortable with game management. I felt really, really comfortable with our rotations. I got a little bit better feel for the offense. Doug really helped me throughout the week, just listening to him and how we want to play and what we want to get done and who we want to get the ball to in certain situations. So all that started to come back to me. As far as just coaching on the floor, I just play the game in my mind, to be honest with you. I really do. I play it as a point guard. That's why I probably am as animated as I am, which, some people like, some people don't. I can't worry about that. I just got to make sure I'm putting our team in the right positions. But I just learned that, coaching's fun, man. At the end of the day, coaching's fun. I love it.
Well, it was funny. We were watching the game film of Northeastern, I think, and JS teammate made the point. He said, Coach, why don't you just go play?
Yeah,
because you're so animated out there. But that's kind of has to make you smile as well, to see a player see your passion for
Right.
what you're doing right now?
Yeah, I've told our guys, I want to sweat with you. Like that's the enjoyment for me. It's not about the money. It's not about anything else. It's about their experience as a college basketball player, because obviously my dad, Jim Tribbett, they gave me a great opportunity and they gave me a great college experience along with my teammates. And that is the joy in coaching, is giving that back to somebody else. And that's what I want to do. I want Jay to have a great experience. I love just coaching it up with Jay. Jay's coaching right now. He really is. I mean, I'll go down in the bench. What do you see, Jay? What do you see? And he gives me some feedback, or he'll come up and he'll say something to Coach E about taking a look at something, because at the end of the day, Jay has a good basketball mind. He sees the game. And so, you know, I just told our guys, I got to earn their trust and their respect through my sweat and work ethic with them. So,
well, certainly working right now for
Yeah.
UNCW. We'll take a break here. When we get back, we're going to turn our focus to that Charleston game yesterday on the road for UNCW, a big win for the Seahawks, and we'll talk about that coming up next. Stay with us.
Let's talk about math. Fuel points math. For every dollar you spend at Harris Teeter, you get a fuel point. 100 fuel points equals 10 cents off per gallon. 200 fuel points equals 20 cents off per gallon. 1,000 fuel points equals $1 off per gallon on quality fuel. And if you're shopping at Harris Teeter with your Vic card, your fuel points are already adding up. Check the bottom of your receipt. Harris Teeter Fuel Points, an easy way to save on fuel.
See harristeeter.com for details.
Every time it's been way too long. A Corona gets its line. Every time you're not related, but you're definitely family. Every time you meet from across the party. Every time all of us is all we need. And every time your favorite place is more about who than where. A Corona.
Along the coast of North Carolina lies one of the best universities in the Southeast, the University of North Carolina, Wilmington. UNC Wilmington, giving flight to imagination.
Well, UNCW once again the big win at home against Northeastern the whole week to get ready for Charleston. That game yesterday at Charleston down at TD Arena. And again, you go into this game, high-level team, you know, number 2 preseason-wise, and they have the Player of the Year preseason-wise in Grant Riller as well. So you knew defensively it was going to be a challenge against this team.
Yeah, we had our work cut out for us. They're really, really good. They're tough-minded, and that's what makes them good, because they can defend. As good as their offense is on nights when Riller really has it going and Galloway's shooting the ball, their defense is what makes them who they are. And we knew we had our work cut out for us, but we didn't feel overmatched. We knew all the pressure was on them. At the end of the day, they were trying to hold court because they're playing for they're trying to win the regular season championship, and that was a big game for them. You know, we did some things defensively to try to keep them off balance. The whole thing with their offense is keep them off balance and make somebody else beat you. You cannot let – I've seen it enough. Riller can beat you. I was there at the Citadel when Goodluck could just flat out beat you. They've had guys that can just flat out beat you one-on-one. Galloway shoots such a high percentage from the 3. He can beat you if he puts a couple together. And so our game plan was, hey, we're going to make some of these other guys have to make some shots and beat us. And that's what we went in there to do. If they beat us, kudos to them, and they got to come back to us in 3 or 4 weeks.
And now you're seeing with this young team, UNCW, finding ways to win. You're putting yourself in position to win games, and now you're finding those ways to win. You seeing that from these kids, kind of learning that?
I felt that yesterday. I really did. We've had to work a lot on some late game scenarios. We worked on fouling earlier in the week. We did it on Tuesday, late game situation, getting it up to half and giving the foul. We worked on execution late in the game and trying to get a good post-up touch or get somebody that we felt like could get a shot for us, get them in the right situation. We added some new baseline out of bounds stuff. So we've really been trying to prepare them for those type of situations because, look, it's going to be like that. I mean, I can't tell you how many close games we've been in the 3 years I've been here, and that's been something we said we were going to focus on and make sure we're good at.
Well, the last 3 games have all come down to the final possession here for UNCW. And this one, a good result, again, at College of Charleston. Let's take a look now at our Reed's Jewelers highlights.
Reed to the top. Jackson goes up for alley. Slam it home. Jackson court. Hand it off to Tolfree. The dog who rolls to the basket. Shot up at the rim. It's good, and he is fouled. 12-11. NCW on top. They'll answer Sims. He buries the 3 in front of the Cougar man. On a 6-0 run over the last 140. Phillips shot up off the glass. His first step. Tucker is so quick. Finish in the paint. Sims to fire 3-pointer, and it's good. Sims shot up, and it's no good. That first step of Tucker is so quick. Sims still fire 3-pointer, and it's good. And Sims up 36-28. Tolfree drives. Kick. Over Karu. He'll lay it in. Strong drive by Mike. Karu. 8 seconds to shoot. Karu jump from the left baseline is good. Clock trying 7 seconds. 6, 5. Epps with head to Riller. 3, 2. Ahead to Galloway. Get it off. He does. 3-pointer is good. If it goes, then it's no good. No good. He's knocked down by the Seahawks. They have numbers 2-on-1. Jackson will lay it in. And UNCW now has cut the lead down to 2. 42-40. They can't buy a basket. They are 4 for 24 from behind the 3-1 runner. Another 3-pointer from Jackson. It's good, and he's fouled by Riller. So Ty Jackson. Jackson on the left sideline. Started by McManus. The Tolfree. He'll launch a 3-pointer, and it's good. Tolfree buries the 3 right in the face of Grant Riller. To screen for Smart. Shot up at the rim. It's no good. He's not grabbed by the Seahawks. We have numbers 2-on-1. Jackson will lay it in. And UNCW now has cut the lead down to 2. Turkey head coach of the Seahawks. Skip pass. Jackson modeled the 3. Good. UNCW on top. 45-44. Ty Jackson buries the 3. 3. So good. Rebound grab by UNCW. Right now, Charleston just simply can't buy a basket here. 4 for 24 from behind the 3-point line. Another 3-pointer from Jackson. It's good, and he's fouled by Riller. So potential 4-point play. After losing their first 7, Phillips out to the basket to lay up is good. The freshman is fearless. He's got up. Sam Miller. Can Sam Miller get a catch and shoot? Riller has it. He'll launch it. It's good if it goes. And he comes up short. And UNCW.
Gonna get lost in that scrum there. 72-70 the final score. Big win for UNCW here in this game. And how about 35% shooting that they hold Charleston to in this game, and only 7 turnovers for UNCW. Both teams, a great job there. Only 5 turnovers for Charleston as well. So again, a very tight ball game. Free throws were a big factor for both teams down the stretch as well.
Yeah, it was. It was big. You know, I got a little emotional watching that, man, because you know the biggest thing is the belief and just having that they have to have in themselves, and just to see them start to really believe in who they are as players is huge. And that's what I wanted from those guys. But the game, 7 turnovers, big. We say 10 or less. We've been around that number, but to have a season low of 7 is huge. You know, last week it was Akaru and Tolfree. but they both had huge defensive assignments in this game, and all of a sudden Gatson steps up. Shaquem Phillips playing with a great smile. I mean, that kid is just having fun out there. He really is, and I love to see that from him. I mean, he went to the rim a couple times and laid it up. He has a huge smile on his face. He has no idea the pressure that's going on in the game. But, you know, you got to love that. That's the youth of us, and you know, Sims was big coming off the bench. I love where he was at yesterday. To me, I thought that was his best ball game collectively altogether. His defensive end of the floor, his decision making. You noticed in the clips, we moved the ball ahead. On misses, we want to get out and go and put pressure on their transition defense.
Yeah, you certainly saw that. As you mentioned, Shaquem Phillips, 17 points,
wow.
7 of 12 shooting. Gadsden, 16 points, all in the second half for him. Big. And Jalen Sims coming off the bench. You decided to make that change, put Gadsden in there as a starter. Sims didn't pout, finishes with 13 points, 7 of 10 from the free throw line. He was huge as well. So again, it seems like right now you're pushing all the right buttons. These kids certainly responding to what you're doing.
Yeah, they are. You know, there's no magic formula to it. I mean, I'm just trying to figure out different ways to help them, and they bought into it, and so we're just going to keep doing what we're doing. The whole key, though, we got to put our blinders on. We can't listen to the outside noise. We have got to get better defensively. We got to keep getting better, because our whole vision is to let's position ourselves for a good seed in the tournament. If we can get to 6, great, and then let's go into the tournament and make a little noise.
Yeah, it doesn't get any easier this week. We'll talk about later on, but certainly the tests keep coming for this squad. But test that they passed on Saturday, UNCW the big win on the road at Charleston. We'll take a break here. When we get back, our player profile this week is Jalen Sims, as we talk about him having a really good year for UNCW. As Coach said, maybe coming off his best outing, and we'll learn more about him coming up next.
At Papa John's, when it comes to better ingredients, better pizza, we deliver. And now we're delivering extra value, too.
When the Seahawks win, you win. Get 50% off your online order the day after a Seahawks men's or women's victory with code Seahawks.
At Papa John's, when it comes to better ingredients, better pizza, we deliver. And now we're delivering extra value, too.
When the Seahawks win, you win. Get 50% off your online order the day after a Seahawks men's or women's victory with code Seahawks.
Whoa, that's crisp.
Crisp taste, brewed with no corn syrup. Bud Light.
Whoa, that's crisp.
Crisp taste, brewed with no corn syrup. Bud Light.
I buy gift cards to pay for all the music, videos, and TV shows I download. And when I do, I save on fuel. With Harris Teeter Fuel Points, I get 2 times the points for every gift card I buy. Spend $25 and get 50 fuel points. And my points are redeemable at any Harris Teeter Fuel Center or participating BP station. I can save up to $1 per gallon on quality fuel. It's money I'm going to spend anyway. Plus, I save at the pump. Harris Teeter Fuel Points. It's music to my ears.
Along the coast of North Carolina lies one of the best universities in the Southeast, the University of North Carolina, Wilmington. UNC Wilmington, giving flight to imagination.
Well, today's player profile, sophomore Jalen Sims, a young man who kind of progressed through last year and leading scorer this year so far. But, Coach, struggling a little bit, and you guys kind of made a little visit, try to put things in perspective for him.
No question. I've told Jalen, hey, look, take some of the pressure off yourself. Give it to your teammates. You can't carry us by yourself. And so on Tuesday morning, we went and saw, maybe it was Wednesday morning, went over to the Children's Hospital, and we spent a little time with a young man. And I just tell you, I think just opened up Jalen's heart to just say, hey, all I got to do is go out and play hard and be a good teammate and just leave it out there on the line, because this young man can't do the things that I can do. And I think that really helped him, and he relaxed a little bit. He had great practice on Wednesday and Thursday, and obviously played his best game on Saturday, in my opinion.
Yeah, certainly showed yesterday against Charleston. Let's learn more now about Jalen Sims. Here's Tanner Barth.
Jalen Sims had a strong freshman year for UNCW, averaging nearly 6 points and 3 rebounds per game. Coming into his sophomore campaign for the Seahawks, it was an aspect mentally he most wanted to improve on.
I think the biggest thing for me was just learning to be comfortable and having that confidence. I think that was the biggest thing, definitely. Freshman year, I struggled with confidence, being comfortable, and I mean, that's obviously my stat line in my first couple of games, but as soon as you get comfortable and just learning your role on the team, learning what you do, what works best for the team.
Sims is one of 5 players on the UNCW roster that was on the team last year, and the returners made a pact over the summer that things were going to change, starting with the culture.
I feel like that was a big thing with us, establishing a culture. So we knew we were going to have a lot of new guys that would come in. We didn't want them to come in and try to do their own thing. We wanted to establish a culture, and that's what we're going to do. And I feel like all the guys were very good at just coming in and just buying in.
Jalen is the Seahawks' leading scorer this season at over 13 points per game, but he cares more about the wins and loss column. And even though the Seahawks are sitting at 9th in the CAA standings, he knows what it takes for this team to get back in the title hunt.
Every day we have to get better, 1% better every day. That's what it's going to take to win CAA this year. Just get better every day.
And he would like nothing more than for this group of Seahawks to be responsible for getting the program back to where it once was.
We wanted to get this program to back where we were, which was 2 back-to-back conference championships, and it would mean a lot just to get back to winning. I feel like Wilmington needs something to get excited about, and I feel like that should be us.
Now that we know Jalen on the court, here's a little something you may not have known about him off the court that may surprise you.
I used to draw. Nobody knows that. I used to be able to draw. I don't know if I still can draw, but I used to be a good artist.
Every time it's been way too long. A Corona gets its line. Every time you're not related, but you're definitely family. Every time you meet from across the party. Every time all of us is all we need. And every time your favorite place is more about who than where. A Corona.
Along the coast of North Carolina lies one of the best universities in the Southeast, the University of North Carolina, Wilmington. UNC Wilmington, giving flight to imagination.
Time for this week's Play of the Week. Again, it was kind of a tone setter for UNCW, and Mike Okaru once again involved. Let's take a look at our Play of the Week.
Running a weed to the top. Gatson goes up for alley-oop, and they'll slam it home as Gatson.
Well, UNCW had this play against Northeastern. They didn't quite get the dunk from Okaru, but they do this time, Coach. Yeah. So, again, you went back to that same call here?
Yep. It's a different action. We mixed it up a little bit. I got to give all the credit to my assistant coach, newly appointed Matt Lynch. This is his little wrinkle. We called it Jerry. And, you know, the biggest thing for us is we want to come out and set the tone. And I got to show our guys confidence. I don't care if the ball, we make that or not. Throw it up in the bleachers. We'll be able to set our defense. But we're going out, and we're going to establish who we are and what we're here to do. And that's a big confidence builder for our guys. When you make that, and it goes as well as it did right there, I mean, their faces, the belief really goes, yeah, we're here. And that's what you want. And in a big game like that, you know, I thought we could catch them slipping a little bit. They're really hard at denying the wings. They want to push you out. So we kept everything above the free throw line. Obviously, it was a great design by Matt. And, you know, he was a little frustrated with me last week. I called him our sports psychologist, but he is our assistant coach, and
right.
he's working really hard, and he's got a big week in front of him. So
there you go.
He's got 3 titles: assistant coach, sports psychologist, and director of operations. So his plate's full.
He's kind of your personal assistant at times too, as well.
Is.
Well, doing a great job on the court. We get to our Carolina Ford Dealers Player of the Week this week. Shaquem Phillips talking about being the extension of the head coach. As I said, having fun. This is the game he had yesterday, and this young man continues to develop as just a freshman on this team.
He does. He's been special. Not a lot bothers him. He's played in big games before. He's had a great high school career. He had a great high school coach. And they at South Central, and he just look at him. He's just having fun. He's got a smile on his face. His hair's all over the place, and he's just competing. And that's the biggest thing. I want him to continue to compete. He still has a lot of areas to get better at as far as his verbalization as a point guard. So many little things to learn about the game. But naturally, he can get to the bucket, and we just got to keep turning him loose.
Yeah, 7 of 12 shooting again in this game, 17 points, a couple points off his career high. Your Carolina Ford Dealers Player of the Week this week, the freshman Shaquem Phillips. We'll take our final break, back with a look ahead for UNCW, a road trip up north for the Seahawks. That's next.
Whoa, that's crisp.
Crisp taste, brewed with no corn syrup. Bud Light.
Whoa, that's crisp.
Crisp taste, brewed with no corn syrup. Bud Light.
At Papa John's, when it comes to better ingredients, better pizza, we deliver. And now we're delivering extra value, too.
When the Seahawks win, you win. Get 50% off your online order the day after a Seahawks men's or women's victory with code Seahawks.
At Papa John's, when it comes to better ingredients, better pizza, we deliver. And now we're delivering extra value, too.
When the Seahawks win, you win. Get 50% off your online order the day after a Seahawks men's or women's victory with code Seahawks.
Along the coast of North Carolina lies one of the best universities in the Southeast, the University of North Carolina, Wilmington. UNC Wilmington, giving flight to imagination.
Well, the conference race heating up and getting very interesting still. William & Mary atop the conference standings, but only game up, hosted in Towson. And the Seahawks make a little bit of a move now with that win, 2-7 in conference play, getting ahead of Elon and Madison, an opponent they'll face this week on the road. So it's certainly getting interesting in conference play. Let's take a look now at this week's schedule delivered by Papa John's, and the Seahawks do go on the road. It starts Thursday at Towson at 7 o'clock, Saturday at Madison at 4 o'clock, so a return game against these opponents here. But let's start Towson, Coach. Hottest team in the conference right now. Yeah. They won 6 straight, starting with the win against the Seahawks back in Trask.
No question. I mean, they are the best ball screen defensive team in our league. They're the toughest minded team in our league, and they're physical, and they're a great rebounding team. But the best thing is our guys had a little confidence from that game because we were right there. Tie game. We had 3 straight stops in a row where they got the offensive rebound put back, and we weren't able to capitalize. So we got our work cut out for us. But you know what? We've been through it the last 3 games. Why not? Let's keep going through it, man. Let's keep battling. Let's take everybody's best punch, and let's throw our best punch.
Brian Fobbs, one of their leading scorers preseason all conference, but Alan Betran is kind of coming to his own now, the sophomore guard for Towson.
I saw a piece with those 2 guys, and Fobbs is really helping Betran come along. He's telling him, hey, man, go out there and play the best you can play. We need you to play the way you're playing, and that's great leadership from Fobbs. We got to do a great job on both those guys.
So, again, another busy week on the road for UNCW. Thursday at Towson, Saturday at Madison. We'll have both those games for you on 95.9 The Breeze if you cannot make it there. For Coach, I'm Mike. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week for another edition of the Seahawk Basketball Show.
Seahawk Basketball Show is brought to you by your Carolina Ford dealers, Papa John's, Adams Beverage, Harris Teeter, Coastal Beverage, and Reed's Jewelers.